I'm going to be testing Destiny 2 on my 4080 Super. I'm going to be doing it at 4K, 1440p and 1080p, but I'm going to be having a look at 4K first, so I've got that set here. Graphics-wise, going to have everything maxed out, so that means these settings go to the highest, and then these ones down here only go to high, but we've got everything maxed. Okay, now first thing is I'm not able to use my normal overlay, so I'd normally be using MSI Afterburner, but it basically doesn't work on this game. I think because of the anti-cheat. I can see the Nvidia overlay, so I can also see the FPS, so I could just talk through it a little bit. But at the moment, it's looking around about 130 to 145 FPS. You can see that in the top right, hitting 150, 160 there. So at the moment, at least with 4K with everything maxed out, it's sitting just above that 144 Hz range, which is decent. Definitely good we can play at 4K with everything maxed like this. Feels pretty smooth as well. At the moment, I've got about 150 FPS and a 99% average of, like, it's staying over 100, so that doesn't feel like the lows are too bad. There's definitely no noticeable stuttering or anything. And the GPU as well is using about 300 watts, just over 300. It's about 310 at the moment. Pretty standard for 4K on this. Saw that in Sea of Thieves the other day. It does seem like in the combat it does drop FPS a little bit, I have noticed. Dropping down to 110 here. So definitely some pretty heavy drops in some areas of the map, of this map at least. Quite a big range, anywhere from 110 to like 160. It's quite a big range, but it does seem like in the combat for me it does drop. Once I start shooting. So I'm at 140, 150. See, as soon as I move here, 120, 125. So quite a big drop. There's more down here. There's loads through there. I'm sure I have some sort of special power. Whoa. That's pretty wild. What the hell? It looks like we've got a render latency hovering around between 8 milliseconds and 13. I can see on the Nvidia overlay. How do I boost? Like that. Almost crashed it. Indoors, we're probably going to see closer to 150. It stay closer to that, I would guess. I don't think I can take this any further. So with a bit of luck, see it drop down a little bit less. Still seeing 135 there, but I doubt we're going to see any of the 120s, 110s. We'll obviously find out, but that would be my guess. I don't like this. What's going on in here? This is like Last of Us. I'm at 4K, but I'm going to be testing with the graphics settings set to low, so I've put it on the low preset here. It's put everything to low, apart from these two, it's put to medium because they don't go to low. So it's looking like we're getting about 230, 240, which is around about, it's given us about an increase of 100 FPS there, if we stay sat at about 230. That's quite a big jump. Seeing it dip down a little bit to 220. Still a lot. Still a pretty big increase, though. Can't say I really noticed graphically any difference. I'm sure there's some difference, but it's very minor. Have to see it side by side. So you could definitely do this at 4K 240 hertz on a 240 hertz screen. If it's set to low at least, if that's what you would be interested in. Me personally, I think 100 and, you know, if we were close to 144, which we were with Ultra, it's pretty much, it's pretty good for me really, that on this game. I'm going to be testing 1440p, so I've got that set here. Graphics wise, I've still got everything maxed out. So I did just notice at 1440p here in the menu, it calculated VRAM was under 3 gig as well. So, you know, an insanely small amount of VRAM's being used. Not even 3 gig. Obviously, whether or not it's probably using a little bit more than that, just because it's calculating it in the menu. Normally it's a little bit more, but still, you know, it's still going to be pretty low. And we're pretty much touching 300 FPS here at 1440p. Getting some dips on the 230 there. You know, it's quite a big range again. 270, 280, 290. But it is breaking 300. Which is quite a big jump from 4K. So you could do this 1440p, you know, 240 hertz easily. Not getting too many drops under that. Hasn't brought my GPU power down though. My GPU power is still sat at 300, just over 300. It's maybe brought my power down by 5 to 10 watts at most. But yeah, it's pretty much no different. Because I am seeing it drop just slightly under 300 a little bit. I'm seeing 298 a little bit. What's going on here? Is this another area? Or have I just gone back to where I was? This looks different, doesn't it? Looks like there's a lot more going on up here. Probably going to see FPS dip a little bit compared to when we were inside. Seeing it sit under 250 a little bit, 220, 225. Obviously indoors you are going to get slightly higher frames than what you would outdoors with all this stuff going on. But we are still mostly getting over 200. Not seen a dip under that. Oh my goodness. Use my special. How do I do it? I think I've got to be close. Oh. Probably only the maybe 4th time I think I've ever played this. Feels pretty nice though. Definitely probably quite fun to play with friends. This guy looks like an absolute master. Has he got a flag? He's got something on his back. They're all spawned over there. But I'm a little bit unclear as to what the mission is. Like, do you just run around? Like, there's no objective. I'm just running around just shooting stuff when it spawns. Is that the idea? What about this shotgun? Is shotgun any good? Oh. Not got the range on it. So I do definitely think you will see some dips in FPS in the combat. Like, we're getting it drop. Yeah, as soon as I shoot, I've started to notice that it's close to 200. And then as soon as I stop shooting, it's back up to 250, 260. That seems to be the general thing that I've noticed. The shooting does drop it. And then as soon as I stop, look, 270, 260. So combat definitely drops your frames. I'm at 1440p, but I'm going to be taking a look with the graphics set to low. So I've put it on the low graphics preset here. I think the lower resolution we go here, I think the less benefit we're going to have from dropping the graphics settings. Now, straight away, I'm noticing my GPU usage is barely breaking 60%. I'm sitting at about 55 to 60%. Now, at 4K when I did low graphics settings, we still mostly had GPU usage maxed out. It was about 97, 98%. So definitely seeing less of a gain doing this at 1440p. Hitting slightly higher FPS, but not massively different. We had roughly 200 to 250 in this outdoor area at 1440p with the settings ultra. So we're seeing a little bit higher than that, 260, 270. With still going to get some dips under 250, I should imagine. But yeah, so you're looking at maybe the most FPS increase to like 30 FPS on average from what we had ultra. So definitely less worth it. I'm now going to be testing 1080p, so I've got that set here. Graphics wise, I've still got everything maxed out. So at 1080p here, it does look like we're breaking 300 FPS. A little bit easier than 1440p, sitting at about 320, 330 at the moment. See if that holds. But right as I say that, got a little bit of a drop under 300. I saw 299. Yet again, I think when I'm in the combat and I'm shooting, it just seems to drop your FPS loads. But when I'm not shooting in combat, we're at about, well, we're at 380 now, 370, 380. So that's almost 100 FPS more than 1440p. I think I'm outside. Am I back where I was? I don't think I am. I am seeing GPU power sitting quite significantly lower than 1440p here. Looks like it's about 220. Some dips down to even as low as 200. So that's a big difference from 1440p and 4K, where we pretty much had 300 watts for both 4K and 1440p. Still feels pretty good though. I mean, you'd obviously probably be targeting, I guess, 360 hertz at 1080p, but you probably like, look at these drops here. Now we're outside, 230 FPS. You're not really seeing a massive increase from 1440p in the big open situations, big open areas. Whereas indoors, we were seeing easily over 300. Here, we're just about holding 240. Getting some quite aggressive dips down. Oh, damn. Almost dipping under 200 there as well. As a teammate. How do we no? How do we kill this thing? I think someone got it. Someone get it? I'm at 1080p, but I'm going to be taking a look with the graphics set to low, so I've put it on the low graphics preset here. Now, like I thought, I'm seeing GPU usage between 40 and 50%, so a little bit less than 1440p, as we kind of expect by dropping down the resolution. And FPS-wise, compared to 1080p Ultra, yet again, not seeing a massive difference in FPS here. So we're just making it really CPU-bound. Do notice this in other games as well. But effectively dropping the resolution, you're taking more work off the GPU, putting it on the CPU, and then switching from ultra graphics to low graphics, you're doing, like, you're adding even more to the CPU, taking even more of the GPU. So it's always going to be worse going to low resolutions than doing that. So there's pretty much zero benefit at 1080p to be playing at low graphics. There's only really a benefit at 4K. And like 1440p, there's a 30 FPS benefit, but you'd have to decide if that's worth it to you or not. Me personally, I'd probably just keep the settings on Ultra. I'd maybe consider it at 4K because there was quite a significant gap. If you've enjoyed this video, click one of the videos on the screen now to see me testing more GPUs, and I'll catch you next time.